The two oldest schools in the country, Wynberg and SACS, have played each other for many, many, many decades. And in the last 21 occasions since 2007, Wynberg have won 12 times and SACS have won 9 times. SACS have had an incredible 2017 season, despite not really getting the better of their southern suburb counterparties, but they are 10th in the country. While Wynberg Boys High School, on the other hand, have had a challenging season, and they'll be looking to get a victory here and end the season off on a high. We interviewed some of the kids during the week, and we've got a short passage there for you.
My name is David Buerter. I play flower for the Wynberg first side. Tomorrow is bound to be an exciting encounter. The buzz already at school, it's insane. Everyone's really pumped for tomorrow. And yeah, can't wait to run out with my brothers for one last time. I'll be handing over to my captain, Matthew Doyle.
My name's Matt Doyle. I'm very excited for tomorrow. It's going to be a great match. My highlights of this year is beating Selborne at the Rondebosch Festival. It's really a big game for us and it was an awesome experience. Here's Christian Colborne, our vice captain.
My name's Chris, I'm vice captain as Matt said, and I'm looking to play rugby next year and study a bit as well. Looking forward to the game on Saturday, and it's going to be another enjoying encounter with my brothers running out and playing another hard game.
So there's the team sheets for you. If we go through Wynberg, the front row is James Pearcer, Jason Alexander the Great, the hooker, had a courageous game against Bishops last week. Nicholas Witter, the tight head prop, and Liam Lotz, who is as hard as nails, takes the number 4 jersey with Mika Schubert at number 5. The loose trio, Said Fakir and Inga Halu, the battering ram. Watch out for him. Also had a great game against Bishops last week. And number 8 is Cameron Bowes, who scored a famous intercept try in the last encounter between these teams on Memorial A back in June. And then the halfback pairing in Matthew Doyle and David Buerter. They'll be looking to exercise their attacking abilities. And then the first centre and second centre combination is Christian Colborne, the captain. He's got a heart of gold, is Christian Colborne. And then Sia Nombakuza, the number 13, normally plays on the wing. He's got heaps of pace. The back three is Dylan Munro, Patrick Shavanga, and then the free radical at fullback, Delivio van Wyk. We go and look at that SACS team. Well, there's just X factor right through from 1 to 15. They've been struggling in the last 3 or 4 games with losses to Bishops and Rondebosch last week, and then also a loss against Paul Boys. But they'll be out to close this game in on a high. The loose head prop is Josh Hay. The hooker is Ethan England. The tight head prop is Josh Barrett. And then Ethan Berger, who normally plays at prop forward, is playing a lock. Played lock last week and the week before. Sean Menard, the number 5. The number 6, open side flanker, Craig Beleen. And the number 7, Declan O'Connor, who scored that wonderful winning try against Grey High at the Cape Schools Week. Number 8, Oliver Skiermans, who's only playing his second game of the term after an injury during the season. And then inspirational captain, who's also the Craven Week captain for Western Provinces, Lucky Chlepu. And he'll be looking to really put the hammer down in this game. The number 10, Sir David Hayes, he's had a great season, been one of the reasons, or one of the plenty reasons why SACS have done so well this year. The centre combinations is Chad van der Loo and Ben Mazulu, who normally plays on the right wing, but he's playing at centre. And then the back three is Aaron Zederberg, who's got jet shoes, and the number 14 is Capello Mokwena, who is also great. And then the fullback is Michael Abrams, who's playing in his second season of first 15 rugby, but he's only in grade 11. So there'll be big things to come next year from the fullback. It's beautiful scenes at Hawthornden. Last game of the year for both these two sides. And it's bragging rights up for stake. And also a lot of these players are in grade 11, so they'll be around for next year. Welcome to this coverage of School Sport Live. It's Derby Day. Winner takes it all. And with me in the commentary box is a man who's heavily involved in SACS rugby, a very passionate man, Graham Veppener. Graham, good afternoon.
Afternoon, Justin. Nice to be here. It's a lovely day. We've really been blessed with beautiful weather for this final fixture of the season here at Wynberg. Magnificent.
So Graham, if you just look at the journey that both these teams have travelled this year, SACS, they've basically had a fairy tale season if you take away their performances against their southern parties. But it's vital today that they get a victory to keep their top 10 place in the country alive.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Justin, I think we talking SACS. I'm not really obsessed with rankings, to be honest, but I think just for the boys and the coaches and their season in general. Yeah, it's been as you say, it's been one of the best seasons we've had in a long time. But soured by unable to put to bed our southern suburbs rivals. Arguably, the guys we match ourselves against the most. We're all 4 boys' schools in the southern suburbs, of similar size, very close to each other. The boys grow up, most of them know each other from having played against each other from under 9. A lot of them. So it's this is, as I say, where we measure ourselves into. To have come away thus far with 1 win against Wynberg and a draw against Bishops and a draw against Rondebosch in the first term, and now 2 consecutive defeats to those sides, does leave a bit of a bitter taste, and has taken maybe a little bit of the gloss off the season. So a win today is vitally important for this SACS side.
And then if you just look at Wynberg, well, they've had a rocky season, only winning 5 out of 18 games, but they might just have their tails up here, Graham.
Yeah, I mean, they've all to play for. It's the last game of the season. You're only as good as your last game, as they say. And if you finish on a high, modern people have short memories with society's instant society, and people tend to remember what happened last. For these boys, particularly the matrix in both sides, if you can walk away this last game with a win, it'll be huge. And I think Wynberg, it's been an interesting journey for them. I mean, they were 2012, 13, 14, the best side in the southern suburbs. I think they had 2 Grand Slam years virtually, where they didn't lose a game in the southern suburbs. I think maybe 1 draw along the way, but really positive results in 2015, 16, 17. Been a little bit of downers for them, but watching them up the top there now, they've always got good sides coming through. So I'm sure they'll be back. This year has been a disappointment for them. What's worked for them in the past is they've dropped coaches down, like Justin van Winkel. Before him, Gus Leslie would drop down to under 15, bring a side through, and it's tended to work for them. This year, Justin's brought his under 16s through. That hasn't worked as it has in the past. I think in 2013 they brought a whole grade 11 under 16 side virtually en masse into the first team. It worked. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But maybe I'm sure next year they'll be slightly better when they've got all that last year's under 16 side back. So I'm sure it'll be a good game, good derbies next year again.
And it's certainly a lovely derby, Graham. If you just look, we mentioned it earlier, if you look at the last 21 games these teams have played, that dates back to 2007. Wynberg with a slightly upper hand with 12 victories there out of the 21. But the last 3 have all been the way of SACS, and this is going to be a wonderful encounter, Graham. Yeah,
I mean, SACS rugby's come a long way, I suppose. As I said, our headmaster, Ken Ball, it's his last rugby fixture before he retires at the end of this month, 31st on Thursday. And he's been instrumental in bringing SACS rugby, improving SACS rugby. He's been here about 12 and a half years now at the school. And, we've come a long way from where we were 12 years ago. When I first got to SACS the same year as him, 2005, I mean, we were taking beatings regularly from Wynberg doubles. We've managed to turn that around and be more competitive against all the southern suburb schools. And we need this win today, I said, to finish the season on a high.
And also between 2012 and 2014, Wynberg were unbeaten against SACS. But SACS in the last 3 victories, they'll be looking to do a similar thing to what Wynberg have been doing to them in the past.
Yeah, I mean, once you got your nose ahead, you like to keep it ahead. But as you know, Derby, rugby, all across the world, the country, look at that Australian game today. I took 50 points last week. They almost won it today. So, you know, there's all sorts of variables at play. The SACS side have, I think, definitely lost their confidence and not playing with the same zip and zest they played with at the start of the season. So interesting to see how things unfold now over the next 70 minutes.
So we're underway, and it was a good carry by Nicholas Witte. And Doyle is at the base, and he finds David Botha. And this is quick initial hands here. Here's the captain, Christian Colborne. Good initial play by Wynberg. And there's that famous choke tackle that they're going for. Wynberg get the penalty. So they'll be loving that start, Graham.
Yeah, good carry. A very silly play by Mokoena, the right wing of SACS. The tackle had formed. He folded in from the side, number 14, Kabela Mokoena. Easy to spot for the ref. He just flopped in on the side of that ruck. But yeah, I mean, interestingly, you know, when I was coaching the first side a couple of years ago, Wynberg were infamous for the choke tackle. They sort of brought it to the southern suburbs, as it were, and they cleaned us up with it on many occasions in the past. SACS have done a lot of it this year. Ironically, SACS got slightly cleaned up by Rondebosch on the same tactic last year, so it's a good tactic to use if you can get it right.
So it's going to be Jason Alexander. He's been one of their standout players this season. He scored a beautiful try last week, and he always gives it his all.
Looks like Wynberg, they're well known for their mauling. They're setting up a 5-man line out here. They've got the flanker, number 7 here at the Ingahalu. He's looking as the ripper, so it looks like they're going to set a maul. Sacking comfortably, but they've reset maybe.
So Wynberg, what can they offer? And they send it to Alexander the Great, and he's going to go over the 22. So Wynberg in the right part of the field. Nicholas Witte, the tight head prop, carrying it up. Doyle. And he sends it to Fakir, the open side flanker. SACS defense at the moment, resolute. And here's David Botha. Very static at the moment. And there Doyle knocks it on. Good defense by SACS.
Yeah, a bit of lateral there from Wynberg, not really able to breach the gain line. No one really running hard, incisively onto the ball, looking like they really want to get over the gain lines. They're pretty easy for SACS to defend that. Interesting. Have you got the referee's name? I can't remember now. I haven't seen this bloke before.
I think it's Mr. Franco.
Oh yeah, Dylan Franco. New kid on the block. I haven't seen him around at a first league game before, but starting nicely.
What a moment for him. The classic clash on Hawthornden and Lepu. Well, that's a good scrum from SACS, and Lepu decides to send it downtown, so the chase is on. Doyle's giving chase, and Mazulo does brilliantly, and here's a chance for Mokoena. Had Van der Loo on the outside, but can SACS capitalize? Declan O'Connor. Oliver Skeurmans is over the ball. Lepu. That's a good carry. Ethan England, the hooker, and Hayes.
Yeah, the Wynberg fullback found a bit wanting there. Lepu finding a bit of space on the 8-9 over the top. Mazulu following through nicely, but yeah, if Mokoena just got that popped up run over the top a second earlier, could have been Van der Loo, might have been in under the sticks.
Could have been one of the tries of the season. And Delivio van Wyk is going to look for touch. Watch out for this boy. He's got a lethal step. He's a danger man, and he can open up defenses. So SACS surviving that early onslaught into their half. And the score is 0-0 after 4 minutes. Alexander with the feed. And he finds Schubert. And that's deemed to be back. Botha to the battering ram. Ingahalu. Gee whiz.
And certainly, we talk about intensity in the carry earlier. That was nice and intense.
Colborne looking to free the hands, and it's been lost. And Muzulu is there to get the turnover. Van der Loo is over it. Lepu finds Mokoena popping up at fly off. O'Connor, great hands by the open side, or the blind side flank, should I say. Lepu, and here's Josh Hay. crashing it up. Lepu back on the inside, and Michael Abrams. It's a feisty contest at the moment. Hayes, Vandaloo going for the flick ball to Mazulo.
Yeah, it's just been interesting. I mean, at the start of the year, start of the season.
Well, look at this. Wynberg, he's going to have a go. So SACS looking to play with the ball in hand. It's what they do best. Ethan England crashing it up. Lepu. Hayes this time with the educated boot. And Olivia van Wyk has to backtrack. And we're coming back for the penalty.
Yeah, it's been interesting to watch. You watch SACS play now. It's a funny dynamic. I mean, you look start of the season, the ball in hand approach worked for them. They were winning games. Still playing the same as it were, but just not seeming to get that gain line. As opposition nowadays, there's it's semi-professional. There's video analysis, and so people have watched your games now the whole season. Interesting to see if SACS vary their tactics a bit during the course of this game.
Well, Wynberg will be up for it. So far 0-0. Ethan England is going to feed. And that's a good line out to Manar. Lepu fires it away to Hayes. Mazulo on the short ball to Mokoena. And here's Nombakuza. He's got tons of pace. He likes scoring against SACS. And there's a chance here, but Oliver Skiermans. And it's a try. Can you believe it? It's against the run of play. And it's the captain, the man with the heart of gold, Christian Colborne. What a way to start the derby.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, SACS throwing a beautiful back ball there, looking to punch it to midfield, bring Mokoena in. Mazulo throwing a speculative pass there, not quite knowing where Mokoena was, bouncing. Kicked through by Nombakuze. Skiermans tracking back well, but not securing the ball, and Colborne doing the necessary. Great start for Wynberg.
Well, both Nombakuza and Colborne love scoring tries against SACS. The two matrix.
They get in the first game, both of them.
Well, Nombakuza scored last year,
okay.
and he scored in the last fixture, and then Colborne had the final say on Memorial Day.
You've done your homework, Jazzy.
So, Buerta lands it, and there'll be a spring in their step.
Big time. I mean, SACS, as I say, it's a beautiful line-out take at the back. Looked like they were about to set up for a launch into midfield, but going awry, and 7 points in the opposite direction.
The bounce of the rugby ball. So, in the last few games, SACS have been struggling in the opening 10 minutes of the game. Things not going their way.
The whole season they've been sort of the comeback kings, but it hasn't quite been happening for them of late. They're getting too far behind in the games to catch up.
So, chance for SACS. Big rig. Leaves it behind, but Lepu picks it up. Hayes to Skiermans. Strong carry by the number 8. Wynberg trying to get the choke tackle in. Lepu finds England. The hooker. Lepu finds Josh Barrett. Likes to run with the ball in hand.
At least they're running onto the ball last week. They're very static in their last 2 weeks, very static in their carries. But here we go again, backwards behind the gain line. Opposition, no Burgers and Barrett are the two main ball carriers. They're reading it, they're chopping them down.
Decent click there by Lepu, but Olivia van Wyk has quite a lot of time, and he sends it downtown. And Sir David Hayes is under it, and he fires it away to Mazulo. He could be dangerous from here.
He'll run, Mokoena will run, I'm sure. And oh my word.
And Mazulo cleans up the dirt there. Skiermans and Manar played hard and strong the whole season.
He's had a great season, Manar, probably the best forward, the most consistent forward. I suppose Berger and Barrett have had great years, but Manar's been really good.
Wynberg back on the inside. Missed the dancing shoes. 2-on-1. Decides to go on his own. But SACS advancing. And it's a turnover.
It's certainly a play that has worked for SACS the whole year. Wynberg on that inside ball. He busts through again. But I suppose that's one of the negatives sometimes when you get a line break. Get your support aren't there quick enough. He probably should have maybe passed to Skiermans there and cleaned on him himself, or looked to get the ball back. But hold on himself and ping for not releasing.
So Van Wyk. That's a decent kick from Van Wyk. And Graham, Wynberg will be delighted with the start.
Very much so, yeah. I mean, they're competing toe-to-toe with SACS. They've got a lead on the scoreboard. They seem to have, they've obviously done their homework. They're picking up the SACS ball carriers. They're stopping them on the gain line, not giving SACS any momentum. So, a great start for them.
So we can see big Inga Halu, the battering ram.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go off the top here. They got Doyle in at 9, 4-man line out. Probably going to go off the top here and chuck it up in midfield.
So yeah, they go. Doyle, Buerta, and here's big Inga Halu. Always gets over the advantage line. It's like a man possessed is Inga Halu, the blindside flanker. Buerta, and here's Colborne. Carrying well the captain. And it's a penalty to Wynberg, so decision time.
Oh, then the wind's in their favour. They'll probably take the 3 or maybe back there more, but probably take the 3 points. But I mean, that's poor defending by SACS, really. I mean, you can see it's telegraphed, really, that Halu was going to truck it up midfield. The loose forwards didn't pick him up. He comfortably got over the gain line, bringing the big Rig Colborne onto it at pace as well. And you're asking for trouble. Once modern rugby is all about momentum. And SACS gifted Wynberg momentum there. I mean, they should have picked them up, should have picked those runners up, particularly that first runner. Should have picked him up better. Connor and Bylan there, giving Halu easy meters, giving them front foot ball and paying the price here.
So David Buerta generally takes the long range kicks. Van Wyk is the other kicker, but Buerta has an important kick here to just add some cushion to the score.
Yeah, I mean, the SACS coaches must be having nightmares here. I mean, this is the 3rd week in a row they're going behind early on the scoreboard. Scoreboard pressure's mounting already, and you've got to start coming back in multiples of 10. It starts getting ugly, and it's looking that way already.
That's a sweet strike with the boot by David Buerta. Valuable 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, I said gave Bishops the lead, gave Rondebosch, I think, almost a 15-point lead in about 15 minutes last week. Not easy to come back when you're not feeling, and you can see they're not really in form. They're battling a bit, and they got their mojo back a bit in the last 20 last week, but it's too little too late. They have to pick it up earlier now.
Lovely hanging kick by David Hayes, and Inga Halu, well, he can catch as well, but he's under pressure. Wynberg still got it back. Doyle finds Liam Lotz, and here's danger. What a great run there by Patrick Shavanga, I think it is.
Lovely exit there from Wynberg, seeing space, seeing the SACS defence was a bit short. Tipped that ball on once or twice and found space for themselves.
David Hayes finds Abrams, and there's Schlepu. So he'll have a run. Runs into Barrett, but it's play on. Zederberg popping up at fly. Beautiful skip pass to Mokwena. Now he's got gas. Made some scintillating breaks against Rondebosch on that right wing. Zederberg at scrum off finds Berlin. Open side flanker. No one's with him. Schlepu is there to get the ball out. Great pass to Declan O'Connor. Under pressure with the choke tackle.
Chap looked offside there in the green helmet, but anyway, he's choking him up now. He sucks a bit of their own medicine.
And it's a scrum to Wynberg, so great defense by Wynberg.
Yeah,
have the upper
well
hand at the moment.
Yeah, very well done. As I said, he maybe looked marginally offside, but you played the rest. Also got the choke tackle. Yeah, Mokwena, dangerous runner, a big, strong boy, comes well off his right foot. Unfortunately, both times he's got the ball, he seems to have slipped, but slipped that one away to Bylan, who got into space. But SACS held up there by a good choke tackle.
So Wynberg, just like they're surviving these few line breaks, Graham, at the moment. 1 or 2 passes maybe could have resulted in a few tries actually for SACS.
Yeah, just slipping once or twice. The pass from Zederberg, it maybe hit Skiermans, the one from Mokwena earlier, if he'd hit Van der Loo. Well, if and but moments that might come back to haunt them later on.
And it was also a bit like that against Bishops and against Rondebosch. They had the chances.
Yeah, I suppose you could argue that they had the rub of the green at the start of the season. Geez, they came back and won so many games to death. That's rugby, I suppose. That's sport. Huh?
So good pick up from Bose, and that's come off a SACS player.
Ooh.
Abrams under pressure, and anything can happen here. Good chase by Shavanga. And Cameron Bose but it looks like they've...
Meter short.
Yeah, it's a meter short. This is sensational stuff at the moment. And it's a penalty to Wynberg.
Another kick through, same scared. Skierman's tracking back on that previous one. He bungled it. This one here, Glepu standing off, waiting for Zederberg. Zederberg bungling it. Abrams missing it. An absolute comedy of errors, and SACS making life difficult for themselves here. What's he going back for here? Oh, Liner back down back in the 22.
Yeah, I think the crowd got way too excited and the ref didn't realise.
Thank heavens for SACS that one of their players that was bungling that ball managed to slip a foot into touch.
Yeah. So, Jason Alexander with a chance to put some pressure on SACS.
They've got Harloon at 9, looks like a maul again. SACS were looking to sack with the Minar. Minar's come in, got the sack, easily done.
Penalty to Wynberg in the same place.
Interesting call. I mean, it looked like a fair sack, but not quite sure what the ref saw there. I mean, mauling's almost, I suppose mauling became such a big part of the game, and it's become that some sides have spoken so much energy now on stopping the maul that the maul's almost out of the game, as it were. In Wynberg, for many years, mauled those 2012 to 14 glory years of theirs. They mauled sides to pieces. But as I said, the sacking's improved, the reading of the lineouts has improved, the video analysis has improved, and the maul no longer as much of a threat.
So, SACS under the cosh as Wynberg decide to turn down the shot at goal. And if they can get a score here, well, it's going to be a massive mountain for SACS to climb. 10-0 is the score. Just over 16 minutes.
It looks like another maul, unless they're going to maybe try something, maybe punch Colborne into midfield, but it looks like they're setting up to maul.
And
yes,
Cameron Bowes
yeah, they are
going for the sack again, yeah.
It's on the ground again.
Doyle
Colborne
and Christian Colborne, the captain, carrying it up. They're going for the choke tackle on him as well, and they fired away to Jason Alexander, the hooker. Doyle goes blind, Fakir, and he has Big Ngahalu again. Plenty of carries for the blindside flanker.
No knock on.
Play on at the moment and it's advantage.
Knock on by SACS, says the ref. No penalty. Taking the 9. Geez, if I was maybe Wynberg take 3 more points, they get 13-0 ahead. That's over two scores clear. Not too dry, but certainly a decent lead. I mean, normally if you as a coach, you say build a lead, 3, 6, 9, get score clear. Well, they're already 10-0 up. This is a crucial passage of play for SACS here now.
But if they can score here,
we're only halfway through the first half, but if they score, yeah, it's a mountain to climb for SACS. Looks like Harlow's in at 9 again. They still have been sacked twice. Looks like they're still giving another crack, but maybe they got a little funky play up their sleeves here. Let's see.
Alexander. Short line out.
There we go. They're straight to the front more.
And Lots is in there. Schubert, the Sherman tank is rolling. They're trying to get it right this time.
Good night, I think. I think it's good night for SACS here.
Wynberg.
He's got the penalty advantage again.
Doyle trying to get it out there. And SACS need to keep careful here.
Might be a card looming here. So I think the Blue Bulls made that one famous. The no jump straight to the front. Set the maul, catch the opposition napping. They're waiting for you to lob it in and get a sack to see what they try here. And Wynberg usually back in the days always used to have 1 or 2 little plays. I think in 2015 they caught us with a play through the front of the line out. Let's see what they pull the pod back, throw to the front. Maybe Harlow going through the off one. Maybe they'll try it here now. Watch.
Can Wynberg get over the try line?
I think they're going to pull the pod back, maybe throw it. No, going for the ordinary maul.
So Schubert, good take from the lock forward, and that's Harlow. So they are 4 meters out, and a golden opportunity of getting another score on their home turf. Bueta going on his own. Wynberg. Send it to Van Wyk. Boys slow at the moment, but they still have it. Doyle finds Schubert. That's a big collision there in midfield.
Lost the impetus a bit now, slow ball.
Good pass by Nombakuza. Buerta, Colborne, and he'll run hard and straight all game, but he lets it go at the last
second.
second.
For the little chicken wing pop out the back door there. Didn't go to hand. If it one of those miracle moments, he took the contact, tried to pop it out the back to the runner. It just didn't. It went to hand, but just wasn't caught, and opportunity lost there.
So SACS have a chance now to get out there 22 off that error by Colborne.
I think this wind is quite a fair factor. I think not that Wynberg have used it that much, but it certainly helps to have it in your favour.
SACS need a good scrum here. Need an exit strategy.
They'll give it to Van der Loo to chuck it up. Oh my word.
And that's all over the place, and Mazulo cleans up nicely, almost breaking, and he could be holed up here. So SACS looking in disarray at the moment.
I mean, so-called senior players making a mess of that there. I mean, Skiermans and Van der Loo. Matrick's been in the team the whole season, done that 1,000 times. Van der Loo throws it over Van der Loo's, Skiermans throws it over Van der Loo's head. Mess, and lucky to just scramble it out on the 22, but still under pressure.
10-0 on Hawthornden.
Wynberg crowd have moved themselves across from where they usually sit on the Bill Bowden side to the other side of the field in the sun, and the game's been played right in front of them. So
Buerta, and here's Halu, short pass this time to his lock partner Lotz, and then Nombakuza knocks it on, and Mazulo, well, he's come to the rescue a few times. Brilliant run by the outside centre.
Great game, back to all the way to the halfway line.
Lepu finds Skiermans, beautiful play to Mokoena, Capella Mokoena, toe ahead, but fortunately for Wynberg, that ball's gone out.
Yeah, I mean, there Skiermans butchered a pass about a minute ago down right on the 5-metre line. Brilliant little tap over the top there to Mokoena, and again Mokoena, just his last touch letting him down as it has. I mean, he's a strong runner. If he'd either just towed that a little bit further, it might have led to something more for SACS, but SACS got out of jail there. Probably 5 minutes of sustained pressure in their 22. Certainly talk about game management and game-changing moments. If they'd conceded another 3 or 7 points there, it would have been a long way back. But to be down here now on the Wynberg 22, and that's a big swing for them.
Also, Graham, I believe we will be seeing a lot of Mokoena next year, only in grade 11.
Yeah, he should be around. As I said, he's a big, strong chap. He certainly can finish if he gets ball in hand. He's got to maintain his footing.
Alexander with a pressure throw, needs to get this right. He finds Cameron Bowes, the inspirational 8th man.
Yeah, no contest to the front, but well sacked there by Minnow. Well read and well sacked. They've got to pressure up here if they can and try and stop Wynberg.
And they're going to go, Delivia van Wyk. Straight into Zederberg's hands, and this is where SACS are dangerous. Michael Abrams, good little run by the fullback, but he might be hauled up here as well though.
Crazy, man. It's like very indecisive there by SACS. I mean, you get that ball to the back, and I thought Zederberg could maybe crack himself there, or when Abrams got it, he took a second to decide. When you're at the back there, you got that sort of space, you got to have a go, and just that split second too late. Taking it into contact, he certainly needed to hit Zederberg game solve for Abrams. Snap back quicker, hit that ball to Zederberg. SACS conceding, and as you said, good opportunity. Poor kick by Delivia, and not punished by SACS.
Wynberg with the feed. Matt Doyle was good in the last fixture between these two teams back in June. Final score was 37-20. And that was actually a very tight game up towards the first half there, Graham, on Memorial Day.
First game?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, these derbies always are. I mean, you very rarely see a side run away with these derby games. Even, one side's in form, they're always nerves. One side raises their game. You very rarely see a blowout score in these sorts of games. And this one looking like it's going to go the same way.
So can they get it right this time? Doyle. Picked up by Bowes. Doyle fires it away to Colborne, and here's Nombakuza, the winger who is playing in centre. And the ref might have spotted something, yeah?
Not sure what's gone wrong back play there at the scrum, but having a chat to the two scrum halves. A bit of argy-bargy maybe between the two of them.
Well, Doyle's a nuggety customer.
And Lepu not scared to give a bit as well. Like all scrum halves, they have a bit of a go here and there. Discipline seems to be the issue here. The ref not happy. Maybe it's Lepu reading the right tack to his team, telling them to maybe just shut their mouths and play.
SACS just lacking execution at the moment, Graham.
Yeah, I mean, they've had a couple of chances, as we've spoken about earlier, which they haven't finished off. Wynberg playing well to their structure. They're looking organised. They're dominating the game at the moment. SACS playing off scraps.
Pose to Doyle. And he's going to have a little go and flings it away to Patrick Shavanga, the right winger. First real touch of the ball for him. And it's a penalty to SACS. Will they tap and go? Lepu. And patience prevails.
Maybe should have, given he's playing into the wind here. See how much of a nudge Abrams can get down that touchline. Decent strike. They've got a 15-metre gain or so.
I believe it's his second season and he's only in grade 11.
Yeah, he's one of those blokes who stayed behind a year somewhere along the line before he got to SACS actually. But so he could get comfortably get 50 caps for SACS if he keeps playing.
That's a dismal throw there, giving Wynberg the ball. And Wynberg will look to capitalise on this. Botha fires it away to Halu again. Always gets over the advantage line, but SACS do very well to almost get the choke tackle. Pose coming away with it. Lots is over. Doyle goes back the other way to
Numbers
Fakir.
on that side. Numbers on that side.
Botha with a loose pass, but Alexander the Great's got it, but it's gone forward. So
I think SACS have gone for the greater physicality of Ethan England, the matric boy at hooker. He is a bit his line-out throwing can be a confidence thing for him. He's one of those players. Ironically, he banged that beautiful throw tail ball, and then SACS butchered the set phase, the backline move there. This time, vital throw, unfortunately, going slightly awry over the top, and SACS losing a very similar place on the field where they lost that line-out. But I think they've gone for a heavier pack here. SACS, you just look at when they're on defence, they look slightly vulnerable. They've got some heavier boys.
Good switch there by Chad van der Loo. Lepu. And here's Basil Barrett. Good strong carry by the tight head prop. Lepu. Big rig on the inside is Sir David Hayes.
No, man.
And he goes on his own. But Wynberg are still under the cost here. Lepu finds Ethan England. SACS need to get over the try line here before half time. Lepu, big rig. Carrying it up. They're about 10 metres out at the moment. They desperately need a score. Lepu.
Barrett again.
Can they deliver? Big strong run by Berlin. Scored a beautiful try against Paul Boys off a similar line. Big rig.
Just unbelievable. SACS is probably the third chance they've had of the last pass, and Hayes right through. They had Minna on the outside, I think it was, or Skiermans didn't give it.
But here we go. David Hayes. Skiermans finds Abrams. Wynberg doing everything in their power to hold them out. Lepu finds Mokwena. He'll be difficult to stop from here. Capella Mokwena.
It's a try. He got it done.
And it's hold up. Can you believe it?
I thought he got that one down, but
Lepu takes it quick. Lucky Lepu. SACS won a 7-pointer here. Outstanding defense at the moment by Wynberg. You can see it's their last game of the season.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, SACS going to ask themselves why they're just not passing the ball. I mean, they've used the ball the whole season, has been their trademark. A couple of line breaks today, and the players just holding on. When you think it's one pass, they could probably have scored. I mean, Hayes through there beautifully. That play that I think Ireland, Joe Schmidt has. It's a Joe Schmidt classic. SACS have used it the whole season as well. Actually opened up like a barn door there for Hayes. It's a massive hole right through. He either could have backed himself maybe faster with the pace or looked for the pass, but in the end did neither and came up short. If SACS come away here without getting the 7 points. It's going to be another crucial moment in this game, I must say. I do think McQueen had got that one down, but who might have say all the way from back here on the halfway line.
So a few stoppages in this half. But SACS, they need a score for their confidence.
Yeah, I think it's some points on the board here. They got the win in the second half. What are we now? It's only 5 minutes to go. So yeah, a vitally important juncture in this game. If they can score here now and make it 10-5 or 10-7 and turning with the wind at their backs, it'll certainly be a bit of a fillip for them. Players are tired after a long season. They're taking their time. Yeah, what is Wynberg's 19th game, SACS' 20th. A lot of these boys have played almost the entire season, 20 games of rugby.
Klepu, David Hayes, surely now finds Mazulo. 5 meters out, SACS looking to spark into life. Big run by Ethan England straight into the ref.
Absolutely smoked the poor ref there, Ethan England. Not a big guy, the ref, but he got Ethan England at full tilt in his back.
Well, welcome to schoolboy rugby.
Shame he's worn it well. It's up in a flash. Not a fairly innocuous move there from SACS. Just didn't really look like creating any space there. Missoula getting man and ball, and or Abrams, sorry, getting the man and ball on the outside. Not much to speak of there. Maybe they can run something better here.
Skuurmans goes on his own. Half the SACS players are in there at the moment.
I mean, Van der Loo ran a hard line there off Skuurmans. Klepu came blind. Skuurmans chose not to use him.
Klepu finds Berlin again, but he meets Fakir. Big strong tackle by Wynberg. Hayes with a chip ahead. Klepu, it's still on ya. Mokoena.
He's a finisher if nothing else.
And Zederberg. We're going to come back for the penalty.
And that's a horrible. It was one of those, I suppose. Hayes is, in hindsight, a horrible option. If it had worked, you would have said great play, but certainly not really what you want to see, kicking the ball away 5 meters from the opposition line when you really need to score.
It's time for SACS to step up in these final 3 minutes before the break. They've struggled to score tries in their last 2 or 3 games in the first half, and they need to get it right.
Funny how things go. I mean, it's as I said earlier in the season, they were running in tries with consummate ease, but all of a sudden it seems like they're struggling to get try, struggling to score.
Devious move there, quick tap. Josh Hay takes it up. SACS looking to put the hammer down. Zederberg on the inside. Wynberg's defense courageous.
Yeah, I mean, that's worked 100 times this season. Again, that inside ball. This time Wynberg read it. Well played to them.
Klepu to Skuurmans. Big tackle there.
Halu.
Inga Halu. Great tackle. SACS on the back foot, but in the 22. Wynberg's defense, where's this been the whole season?
Vital passage of play.
Barrett carries it up. Hayes back on the inside of Skuurmans.
Wynberg reading it like a book. Everything SACS do, they seem to have seen before.
Klepu. O'Connor. Another big tackle there.
Wynberg SACS have gone back for 17, 18 meters now from the try line. They're back on the 22, starting again.
Klepu finds Big Reg. And Wynberg's defense is brilliant at the moment. Back on the inside of Zederberg.
Again, that pink helmet coming into play again on the inside. But again, Wynberg up to the task.
Ethan England. Surely it has to come for SACS at some stage. Big Reg fires it away to O'Connor, and Oliver Skuurmans is going to go all the way. And finally, Graham, they get a vital score.
That's a crucial score on 34 minutes. A lot of phase play there, and eventually Berger showing his skill, getting his hands above the tackle to O'Connor. O'Connor slipping a one-handed pass. Maybe like they've seen two. Maybe anyway, one-handed pass to Skuurmans, who got in under the stick. So a vitally important score. It's going to be on half-time, 10-7. Probably if Abrams can bang this over, it's definitely not a given with Abrams. He's had a very wobbly season with the boots, but should be 10-7 and half-time looming. and SACS with the wind at their backs in the second half.
Just see the highlights there. Beautiful pop pass by O'Connor, and then Skuman's wonderful finish by the number 8.
It's credit to Wynberg. I mean, they still had numbers back there after a line break. Doyle shrugged off at the end, but he was there at least, and almost put an end to that try as well. But just shows you that, I suppose you say, where's the defence been the whole season? The commitment, what you can do if you really want it, the scramble defence, really there for Wynberg today. We're just going to allow the kickoff to take place. I think we're about a minute left on the clock, or less than a minute left on our clock. But he's going to let the kickoff take place. There have been 1 or 2 stoppages.
Well, the game living up to its expectation. 10 points to 7 with the final play before half-time.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day, and a lot of schoolboy rugby at the end of the season. Both sides letting the ball do the work. It's great to see. Crowd being thoroughly entertained.
Van Wyk to get us underway just before half-time.
I think SACS just got to catch this and kick it out, maybe. Let it go out. Half-time.
Half-time. Thoughts, Graham?
Yeah, well, I mean, as you said earlier, Wynberg started very well. Their structures were working for them, and even right up till that last try. I mean, they've done their homework. They're reading the SACS banker plays that have worked for them the whole season. They know Burger's going to come at them, Bro's going to come at them. They've read Zederberg's inside lines. They've read those little Gregans back inside, the inside balls from Hayes to Skeetermans. So SACS, those have been SACS sort of banker players the whole season. They've done their homework. They're reading them. SACS struggling to get over that advantage line, get gain line, get momentum. So full credit to Wynberg, and as you'd expect, I mean, they're a well-coached side. Craig Charles, Justin van Winkle, they do their homework. They've coached the side well. They know what's coming at them. They're prepared for it, and they've had the better of the half. I mean, they lead the half at deservedly 10-7 at half-time. SACS eventually managed to, with a little bit of magic from Burger, eventually he managed to get a little bit of leeway in the tackle, get his hands free, and get that, set up that try for Skeetermans. But it's been hard work for SACS, and as they have the last couple of games, just lacking that little impetus, zip ability to break the opposition down, which they were doing so easily early in the season.
Well, we're going to take a few minutes break before the next 35 minutes. Order play for at Wynberg.
Their romance started with love notes, then texting. And even now that he's hundreds of kilometers away, they stay close, one video chat at a time. Protect your future memories by ensuring the one thing that makes your connection possible, your income. Follow the link to learn more about Liberty's income protection. Liberty, the advantage of knowing.
Welcome back. 10-7 in the favour of Wynberg against SACS, who are 10th in the country. What more could you ask for the final schoolboy game of the year for both these sides? Delivio van Wyk gets the second half underway with a hanging kick, and Van der Loo was in trouble there.
Bailed out by Skiermans.
Coming to the rescue, Oliver Skiermans. Abrams sends that downtown to David Buerta, the fly off, and he's going to go for the Gary Owen-like kick. Glepu under it, safe as a house, and he hacks it downfield. And he has a chance for the free radical. Delivio van Wyk goes for the educated boots, picked up by Abrams, so aerial ping pong at the moment. Still not out. It is out.
And you just given that, that little passage of play, I think very clear. The message obviously came from the SACS coaches. Let's use the wind in the second half. I haven't seen SACS kick the ball 3 consecutive times like that the whole season, I think. So obviously a very clear message. Let's use this wind, let's play territory. Let's get down there and win this game.
I think the most important thing is they have to be up for it. They have to want to win this game. In this final 35 minutes, Wynberg are not going to lie down. Halu, great strength when he gets the ball. A complete menace in this game. Bose, the number 8, and he's tied up by SACS. Doyle looking for that ball like a demented mole, and he has a good little jink there by Buerta.
See, this is where I said this is where Wynberg can exploit SACS. So SACS, if you look back at that defensive line SACS had there, when they from that line out, they hit middle. You look back there, we've got the heavier players that SACS picked in their front row for this game stacked up there in that back line. If Wynberg can use that and exploit that space, it could be interesting later on in the game.
SACS will look to their matrix. It's a final game for them. Last game in those jumpers. Chad van der Loo, Beaver, carries it up the midfield. He's had a very good season in number 12, and Hayes left that behind, and somehow Big Rig gets away with it, and look at him go. He's got heaps of pace for a lock forward. And it's a penalty.
Not sure there was a ruck, to be honest, but anyway, there was someone over the ball. The new rules state that only need a tackler and the tackle and the tackled player for there to be a ruck, and so it was there. Yeah, Berger, I mean, multi-talented, just been picked for the Western Province under 17B cricket side as well. But I mean, he's got potentially careers in 2 sports, but I think he's for that size and skill, I think he's going to be snapped up by some rugby club, I think.
Probably can save a few boundaries as well with that pace. So, SACS now have an opportunity.
Looks like they're walking in a 7-man. Yeah, they've got Minnar at Ripper. Maybe they can look to be mauling themselves there. A bit of a wind up though. Let's see. Hopefully they don't ask England to go too deep on the throw. Yeah.
So Ethan England finds his jumper. Minnar, Glepu, scrappy ball, but it's play on. Zederberg goes on his own. Zederberg, he's dangerous, almost breaking through. Glepu finds Josh Hay.
Bit of carry by Hay there, managed to slip around the corner. Here comes Berger now. Berger scored. So simple round the corner rugby. I said maybe at half-time SACS haven't changed their tactics, maybe, but there we go. Good old-fashioned round the corner, Jake White rugby as we might call it. Line out, the bungle, they try to bring Zederberg in off the wing there, or Skierman, sorry, on a little vacuum play. Didn't quite work, but the ball went backwards. Taken in by Zederberg. Hay around the corner that time. He managed to slip off the tackle. Got a decent gain line carry. Brought Berger around the corner again, and he's got a gadget arm, and he managed to get that over in the corner.
Wonderful try by Ethan Berger.
Now started by Berger. In fact, that play, he picked up a scrap here of possession, made the initial break. So again, he's had a monumental season in that number 1 jersey, I have to say, but I think he's wearing number 4 today, if I'm not stand to be corrected. Either way, he's a big boy. He's got good feet, good hands. I mean, as I said, a bright rugby future for him.
So Abrams has a chance to stretch the lead. And he can't deliver, so 12 points to 10.
Hobbling back Abrams there, feeling sorry for himself. Abrams hobbling back there, looks like he's going to be carrying a bit of a niggle, but
I think he took a hit early on in the first half, down on the right-hand corner, yeah.
Certainly seems to be enjoying the hostel food. He's could be trimming. He looked to trim down again over the off-season, I think.
So SACS for the first time take the lead, 12 points to 10.
First time they've been in the lead in a long time in the last 3 games. Just the news coming in from down the road, the other major southern suburbs rivalry. A quite unbelievable result. Put sort of egg on my face. I said these derbies are always tight, they're always closely contested game, never a blowout score. Rondebosch turning on the charm, 66-7. They managed to score over Bishop. So quite unbelievable result for the end of the season at Rondebosch.
Unbeaten against their southern suburb rivals as well.
Yeah, just would have been what we call it down here, I suppose a grand slam if it wasn't for the draw with SACS in the first round of games.
But it was a triple crown.
Yeah, triple crown this term. Would have been a complete 6 grand slam if they'd managed to hold on for that win against SACS. SACS getting out of jail there at the death in the second term.
But anyways, back to the SACS Wynberg game. SACS, they're going to look to return to their first term form and really put the hammer down. 12 points to 10. Just after 6 minutes in the second half. What can SACS come up with off the scrum?
It's a bit of a game-changing moment again maybe as well.
Lepu, and it's a penalty to Wynberg. That's a big moment for them.
Yeah, as you say, SACS picked a heavier pack. You'd expect them to be dominating at scrum time. Wynberg, looks like they got a new hooker on, yeah. Not a very heavy bloke himself, but they got the heat on SACS there. SACS, another game-changing moment, putting their hands in a scrum. Unbelievable. Ill discipline there. Got the kickoff not going 10. Coach's dream, you score, the kickoff doesn't go 10. Midfield scrum with a wind at your back. Lepu could have just maybe nudged that down 8-9, grub it down into the corner, turned the pressure back on Wynberg. What do? They go in.
They don't find touch. So SACS getting out of jail. Lepu hacks that downfield. Here's Puerta. Finds Matthew Doyle, the Nuggety number 9. And he finds Liam Lotz, who's as hard as nails. And he runs into Berlin and Van der Loo. Doyle.
There's space on the outside here for Wynberg.
But they don't see it. Fakir.
Short defensive line. SACS slow to fold. Slow to fold.
It could be danger if they go wide. Puerta. Here's the free radical to Olivia van Wyk. Going for the offload.
There were 4 Wynberg blokes on side and then 1 SACS defender. But like the SACS in the first half, not finishing off.
Schubert's out the back door. And it's advantage at the moment to Wynberg. Will they try to take the lead here?
High tackle. Into the wind, I think they're going to have to go down the touchline. I think into the wind will be a tough kick from that side of the field. But as I said, this SACS pack looking fairly tired, and there's space on the outside there. If they'd got that first phase, banged it wide, or even if that second phase, another pass there by Delavia would have been SACS would have been in trouble there. There was four Wynberg guys looming up on the outside there. Only McQuena in defence.
But Graham, it's been a long season, and you just look at the quality opposition that both these teams have played. It really, at some stage, does take its toll.
Yeah, I mean, we ask a lot of these boys. I think 20 games of rugby. We don't, and then there's some of them play Craven Week trials or Craven Week in between as well. We do ask a lot of these kids. They're training 4 times a week. They're playing on a Saturday. They've got schoolwork and other commitments in between. So it's, yeah, I mean, they must be tired, all of these chaps. So they're looking forward now to a well-earned break, I'm sure.
There's your man again, Harlu at the back of that maul, and he goes blind. And he finds Alexander the Great, the number 2. A great ball carrier, Jason Alexander. Yes, Schubert. Big man, Mika Schubert. Liam Lotz is over the ball. Wynberg in the right part of the field to get a score. The open side flanker, Vakir.
He's going with the old
Copper
pick and go
stuff at the moment.
Pick and go routine, yeah. Often works well though. You often easy milk a penalty on a pick and go, or suck in those forwards and open up space on the outside, as is happening now.
Doyle, Delivia van Wyk, and he finds Nombakuza. 3 SACS players to bring him down. The man with the jet shoes. Doyle, he might have a go himself. Matt Doyle, 4 meters out here.
Very close, right on the line now.
Can Wynberg capitalize? Liam Lotz is going to have a go. 4 meters out. Delivia van Wyk finds the captain, Colborne. Christian Colborne. And he's over. The captain has a double.
Yeah, poor attempt at a tackle there by Ziederberg. I think he went for the ball, didn't get it, shrugged off, and Colborne using his big power, his power and strength to bust over and get the try.
That is Christian Colborne's 3rd try against SACS. The try-scoring machine. He has a heart of gold. The captain in his final game for Wynberg. And that could just be a very crucial score.
Yeah, I think they're all crucial at the moment, are they? We're down into the last less than half an hour, 25 minutes to go in this game. Every score is going to be crucial. Wynberg against the wind, capitalising on started with a good scrum by Wynberg actually. I mean, they butchered that kickoff after the SACS try, got the penalty with a good scrum, and they managed to convert that pressure into points about 5 minutes later.
So, David Botha with a lot of responsibility here to add the extras to make it a 5-point ball game. Can he deliver? Botha. It's a decent strike, but it just fades to the left. 15 points to 12 with about 23 minutes to go, Graham.
Yeah, it's certainly an exciting game. And what has SACS got up their sleeve here? Can they bounce back? Have they got the energy to pull this one back?
Well, they definitely have the players to. They just got to find their rhythm. But Wynberg, they're looking for a famous victory as well. Van Wyk.
Not a great kick by Hayes, but it might work out all right.
Tons of time. And Ziederberg, will he have a quick go? He does. He finds his captain, Glepu, who in turn finds Abrams. David Hayes, Mazulo, and he'll have a go. He's dangerous from anywhere. Ben Mazulo trying to beat Harlu, and he fires it away, and it finds Christian Colborne. Wynberg getting out of jail. It was a brilliant run by Mazulo.
No, he's got a little twinkle to us. He managed to sort of weasel out of space often. When he's got the ball today, he's generally got good gain line carries.
Wynberg, as they've done the whole game, turn over the ball in dangerous parts of the field. Lots in the red scrum cap.
Oh,
what a steal by Craig Berlin. Brilliant steal by the open side flanker.
Like candy from a baby.
Klepu. David Hayes back on the inside to Aaron Ziederberg. SACS.
There we come. Motion on the ball around the corner at least. Manar carrying.
They're looking for an opening. Klepu. Josh Hay.
But static here for SACS. They need the spade numbers on the outside here. Hands will do. Well done. Well done.
Abrams. Cutting back on the inside. He's a slippery customer. Glebu finds Manar. SACS just looking for an opening. Berlin. Abrams on Shavanga. And Basil, big run there by the tight head prop.
They need Burger. They need Burger in the game. There's space there. They can hit. They can get a little tip onto Burger now. They can play.
Basil again.
They need to get Burger running onto it. There's space in midfield. No, wrong place there.
O'Connor on the inside.
Same partnership again. They set up the last try at the end of the first half. Berger to O'Connor. O'Connor leaving that behind there and picked up by Wynberg.
Doyle finds Van Wyk, and he's dangerous from here, but he decides to put it on the boot. Anything can happen. Munro giving chase, but the touchline wins. Feisty stuff, Graham.
Yeah, I mean, SACS a little bit slow to identify that space. There was a nice gap there, so in the middle of the field, if they could just phase it too early, if they could got that ball to Berger, I think he would have punched through there. Eventually, he did manage to get through, slip it back inside to O'Connor. O'Connor letting it slip out of his hands in the tackle, and SACS losing the ball.
20 minutes to go, and it's testing times
SACS
for the oldest school in the country.
They're showing a bit of patience. They're starting to find a bit of space, backing their ball in hand game as they have the whole season.
Manar, and he goes on his own. Chilepu at the base, finds Declan O'Connor. Strong blindside flanker.
See, we're around the corner, rugby again. It's working there. Just looking to suck in defenders.
Hayes finds Mokoena popping up at centre. Abrams, and this could be trouble. Zederberg, and he fires it away, and it finds Buerta, and he decides to get shepherded into touch.
You'd think the SACS. You'd think the SACS guys are wearing striped jerseys as well. They're both the last two times they've thrown the ball inside, they passed it to a Wynberg guy. But Wynberg stupidly there. I think it was Buerta who picked that ball up, not releasing it. It's not normally a free kick for that. The ref giving a full-arm penalty, but either way, I presume the ref is right. Again, silly penalty you concede there. I mean, just let that ball go. There's never going to really be a dangerous line-out for SACS. It could cost him.
Ethan England, pressure on him. Can SACS take the lead again? Finds Manar to Big Rig, and he spills it, but it's gone back. Zederberg.
Zederberg punching.
And that's a good run by Zederberg there. Doing well.
He's done well in the small spaces today. He's got his, he's managed to get his bit of gain line, even though he's a big rangy chap. He's got gain line.
It's a great opportunity for SACS.
They're using a little pick and go routine themselves here now. Something Wynberg were doing not so long ago on the other side of the field.
Patience is the name of the game. Pick and drive stuff at the moment.
Energy sapping stuff, as they say.
Wynberg defending for their lives.
Then they're going to push it one phase too far here and concede. No.
Klepu goes to Hayes.
They're rushing up hard there.
He finds
Wynberg.
Mazulo. Wynberg doing well to slow the ball down.
Yeah, they hit Mazulo hard there. They rushed up hard on him. Josh Hay.
Good carry by the Lucette prop.
But rolling away, penalty advantage SACS.
But SACS need to be lethal now. Hayes with a chip ahead. Can he finish?
Yes.
Sir David Hayes. And eventually he gets it right.
Yeah, well, there we go. Again, I'll take it again. Egg on the face. I mean, castigated him in the first half for kicking the ball away in the opposition 22. But then again, we have also said that SACS have become a little bit predictable, their ball in hand approach. So varying the play, the little dink over the top. And that time it worked a treat for Hayes. So full credit to him. Backed himself.
I think Hayes or Mokoena could have got that.
Well, I thought Mokoena, when he kicked it, I thought Mokoena might have been in front. So good thing he got to it himself.
So the Matric in his final game manages to get a try, and he'll remember that one for years.
Yeah, I mean, David's been a fixture in the SACS first side last year and this year. Actually, last year when he came on tour with us to Kersney, was sort of actually playing between 9 and 10. He actually started the first game of the year at 9 last year, ahead of Klepu, and then got into the 10 position, and he's made that his own for basically the whole 2 seasons. I don't think he's missed too many games over the last 2 years. Opens a bowling for the first cricket team, left arm seamer as well, so versatile bloke, and he's had 2 great years in the SACS first side. Certainly when he went down injured in the Bishops game, I think it was, there was a major flutter in the SACS camp that he wouldn't be available for the last 2 games, but he's made it through.
We just see that great finish by David Hayes.
And the kicking of SACS, letting them down again. Another relatively easy conversion missed by Abrams, making this a a 2-point game, and it could be a 4 or 6 point game.
17 plays 15, SACS in front. They've had a good last 20 minutes. Mazulo, he's run hard and strong all game.
Yeah, he does. As I said earlier, he uses his feet, shows you the power of the feet. I mean, you use your feet, you tend to get gain line.
Good run there by Barrett. Finds Josh Hay.
Certainly doing what I said at the halftime they should do, playing a bit narrow, using those heavy forwards of theirs to crunch it in narrow and suck Wynberg in before they're going wide.
Finding the spring in their step. David Hayes this time with a tactical kick downfield. Zederberg's giving chase. And Van Wyk, what will he do? He could have a go, yeah? Good carry by Delivio Van Wyk. But Wynberg still under pressure. Well inside their half. Buerta. And he finds Ingahalu. They better watch out for him. Beautiful pass to Dylan Munro. He's got tons of pace. The left winger. Great run. And he pops it. It's play on at the moment. So they still got the advantage. And we're going to come back for the penalty. Well, it's enterprising stuff.
Yeah, I mean, full marks to Wynberg there. Poor defense by Mukwena. I mean, that's where his weakness is. A lethal finisher, but there, tackling in off his wing. SACS were drifting across. They seem to have it covered. Mukwena tackles in, opens up space for their winger, and conceding a penalty on the next phase. Yeah, and Wynberg right back down where they want to be.
14 and a half minutes to go on Hawthornden. You couldn't ask for more.
I mean, Hayes, probably a decent option there to kick that one over the top. He just a little bit towards the middle of the field, giving Delivea enough space to have a little bit counter-attack for his support to get back and help him. If he put it closer to touch in front of Zederberg, might have been, or just rolled it out, probably would have been a better kick, but it gave Wynberg the chance to counter-attack, find space on the outside, and they're back where they want to be. Halu got into 9. Looks like we're going to see another maul here.
Can Wynberg respond? Pressure times for Alexander. SACS supporters making tons of noise.
That looked very skew. Almost landing in the scrum half hands, one of those real bad hooker moments.
Well, you can see they've been playing each other for decades.
This is, tell you what, I really don't know what it is with the modern schoolboy. They really seem to love to get involved. Look at those SACS supporters, terrible. They really seem to, I don't know what's happened the last 5 or 6 years across schoolboy rugby. The whole argy-bargy, unnecessary stuff that
the ref just settling things down.
Both coaches in there as well, Craig Childs and Nick Mara in there, trying to settle things down as well.
It's pre-match shenanigans for later.
Yeah, I find it fascinating. The modern school kid, they just they can't put their pride in their pocket. You say something to them and they've got to flare up and have a crack at someone. It's like, you keep saying to them, discipline, win the game on the scoreboard. The guy says something to you, ignore it and just carry on playing the game. These kids can't seem to contain themselves. This guy chirps them or pushes them, they've got to have a crack at him.
Klepu. And they've got the penalty. So this could be, well, crucial considering the state of the game. 12 minutes to go. SACS have a chance to get downtown with a penalty.
We're looking at 12 minutes to go, yeah. 2-point game.
Abrams. Decent kick by the fullback. But they've got a lot of work to do here, SACS. Only 2 points in front. Wynberg trying to get their first victory over SACS since 2015, which happened on this field. The score that day was 30-23.
Don't remind me of that, Justin. That was also another great season, soured but a loss at the end of the season.
Minot fires it away. Hayes, Mazzullo, and he'll have a go. Ben Mazzullo, Mr. Dancing Shoes. Great run by the number 13. SACS in the driving seat. On the 10-meter line, virtually, David Hayes goes on his own, almost breaking through. He's a knowledgeable player, David Hayes. Mokwena
Popping up on the left is the right wing, looking for work. Obviously got orders.
Josh Hay, who's been outstanding in the games that he has had for the first team.
Oh, they're carrying narrow now and looking to go wide. Is it on?
Van der Loo offloads it to Zederberg. And he's a difficult customer to bring down, Aaron Zederberg.
He's a big rangy fella like Missoula. They seem to find space. They use their feet.
This will really set the cat amongst the pigeons if SACS can score next.
Mokwena popping up again on the left-hand side.
There are tons of numbers there, SACS.
Get up. Burger stealing it off.
And it's a penalty.
Fairly lucky penalty there.
Tap and go by Bernard. He did this against Solborn. Could he do it against Wynberg? Sean Menard.
Intelligent play there. He held it, waited for his support to get to him. Held the ball up nicely.
Lepu. Can they put the hammer down? Van der Loo.
Big carry by the strong man, Van der Loo.
Lepu finds Barrett. Josh Barrett.
Almost into slow motion there.
Mazzullo.
He deserves a try.
He has had a strong game.
Not coming out of there. That should be scrum SACS. That's been sealed off, I think, by... Oh, that's come out.
Lepu.
Skeetermans again, the man who scored one try already today. Barrett, he's gonna... Can he get over here?
Mokwena.
He's popping up all over the place. He's been held up again. He's been held up once before. The player down in midfield, yeah, I'm not quite sure it is. Let's go Wynberg boy. Down in midfield, yeah, Justin. The medics are on to him. Is it a Wynberg boy or a SACS boy? I can't actually see. SACS physio going in there now.
I think there's two players down. Doyle's up.
Van der Loo looks like he's cramping. It looks like a Wynberg boy down in the middle of the field. I'm not quite sure it is.
9 minutes to go. 17 plays 15. SACS with a chance to make it very difficult for Wynberg to take this game. SACS are looking for their fourth game on the trot against Wynberg. Lepu wants this badly. But Graham, this derby match has lived up to expectations.
Yeah, very much so, Justin. Been a ding-dong battle, nice open running rugby. I say Wynberg have produced a very good performance. I mean, as I said, they haven't had as good a season as they would have liked to have had, but they've certainly fronted up, yeah, as you'd expect from them in a derby game.
Just wonder who is down in back play. Wynberg have brought on a replacement. And SACS, well, lucky Lepu has a plan here. You don't really see these players off taps anymore in the modern game. Only really at school level.
It looks like we've got a fairly bad injury here. We're going for the neck brace and the... never nice to see that. Say hello to ex-Wynberg coach Gus Leslie. He's watching out there. He coached many Wynberg through the glory years to many more victories against SACS. Personally had many ding-dong battles with him through the years, coming up through the ranks under 14s, 15s, 16s. Struggled to get one over him. Certainly a man who helped uplift Wynberg rugby to where it is now.
Well, Wynberg have also produced their Springboks. over the 1960 to 1961 tour of Great Britain. They had 4 players in the same team.
Wow. Is that Doug Hopwood? 4 players. 1961.
It was Doug Hopwood, Dave Stewart, Lionel
John
Wilson,
Gainsford.
and Doug Holton.
No, not John Gainsford. That was a bit later era.
And the grandson of Doug Hopwood is Dylan Sage.
Yeah, the Blitzbook, playing along with Carl Brown, our SACS All Boy. Never nice to see a player go off on a stretcher. Let's hope he's all right.
So there's something mischief going on here. Lepu. And which way is it going? It goes to Big Rig.
Easily tackled. Well read by Wynberg.
Thunderloo trying to give his opposite number a taste of his own medicine and get over the whitewash.
Hold up again. Jeepers, how many of those have we had in this game? Yeah, I think also just while we're on commentary, a special mention, 5 minutes to go, of the SACS headmaster, Mr. Ken Ball. Is his last game as headmaster. As I said at the start, certainly done his passionate rugby man, absolutely loves rugby, whether it's for the Springboks or SACS, and all throughout the Eastern Cape where he coached many teams over the years. It's going to be sad to say goodbye to him on Thursday. Certainly from a rugby point of view, he's helped SACS come from, as I said, probably the weakest side in the southern suburbs of the 4 schools to right up there now at the moment, mixing it with all the other schools on the same level. So it's been a great ride along with him over the years, and full credit and thanks to him for his support of schoolboy rugby throughout the country, and particularly here at SACS in the last couple of years.
SACS with an opportunity to close out the game. Lepu. And Wynberg have it. Colborne, the captain, the chase is on by Nombakuza. Anything could happen here. Mazulo under pressure, but he's had a storm of a game.
Mokoena now, here's a finisher.
Well, he can be devastating.
Here's a finisher. Brilliant.
And he finds Manar. He's going to call the way.
Absolutely brilliant. We said Mokoena was a finisher. He got his first sniff of space. He's a big, strong boy. Right through, tackle, and Manar, who's, as I said earlier, probably been when you've had the SACS forward pack have played well this year, but Manar, his work rate has been outstanding. The number of racks and tackles that chap has hit and made throughout this season has been unbelievable and fitting. And I think it was ironically on this field last year we had Lon Statler, who was a similar sort of player to Manar. Real team man, work rate, tackles, clean rack carry, always offering to work. He scored the final try for SACS last year on this field in a fitting moment. I think Manar, grade 11, he'll be back next year as well, but certainly fitting maybe that he might score the last try for SACS this season. A brilliant finish on hand, Trojan workhorse on hand to take an inside offload from a winger and score under the poles. Brilliant.
Abrams with a kick to make it very difficult for Wynberg to even sniff a victory. And he gets it right when it really matters. And Mokoena has had a good 2 games in that SACS jumper on the right wing. And Wynberg needs to come up with something now.
Yeah, I mean, that was a vital score for them to get, with less than 5 to go, to get, what are they, 8, what's my maths now? 9 points clear. Vitally important score and conversion there by Abrams, eventually knocking one over.
Van Wyk testing kick for Skeurmans, but he's under that.
Important take by Skeurmans. The SACS need to just bang this downtown. There's Hayes back in the pocket.
Charge down.
Word. But telegraphed by SACS, wasn't it?
This could be turned. Is there a twist in the tail? If Wynberg can score now, could be trouble times for SACS.
Telegraphed by SACS that they were going to bang that back into the pocket to Hayes and paid the price there. Wynberg, Abrams, and his mistouch.
He has a chance for Matthew de Villiers, the replacement player. Limited members at ruck time, and SACS have a crucial penalty. That could well be the game. Only a minute and a half to go now. Abrams taking his time.
He hasn't given many breakdown penalties today, to be honest. And pinged that one there. You pick up that one was for. The Villiers took it in to the gang tackle by 2 SACS players.
I think it was holding on.
Holding on. I say he hasn't given many of those today. I thought Wynberg had been in on the ball quite a few times. He's given a split second for the supporting player to get there.
So this could be the final say. What will SACS do? Tlepu, David Hayes finds the Beaver. Fundalu, Chad Fundalu, great run. And look at Beaver go, but he's lost it forward. And Wynberg, do they have a response? Great run by Matthew de Villiers. The ball is slow. And we're going to come back for a scrum. So will Wynberg have the final say? They've been courageous all game. And they've made it difficult for SACS. SACS only really finding their rhythm about 10 minutes before half time. What can Wynberg do? They're going to have to look to Olivia van Wyk. Olivia van Wyk finds Nombakuza. Strong carry by the number 13. Vakir.
Offside there, possibly SACS, but
Stuart MacDonald.
Ref had his back turned.
Doyle, Van Wyk, Pearser. Oh, show and go by the loose head prop. Zederberg flying in, and it's advantage. Doyle, the free radical. Van Wyk finds Nombakuza. He could have a go, yeah. Sia Tanda, Nombakuza. And it's a penalty. Doyle will have a go.
James Pearce on the outside. He actually the nephew of the Dave Forbes, who you mentioned in commentary last week, watching in Holland. His nephew, James Pearce, the loose head prop for Wynberg. Dave Forbes, a SACS old boy himself, but his wife, the Pearce, is a well-known Wynberg family, and his nephew having a nice carry on the outside here at the end of the game. He's got another year left next year.
Alexander the Great. Good run by the hooker. Wynberg want the final say. Van Wyk. Off those to Vakir. He's still got it. The open side flanker.
Slinky stuff.
Doyle goes blind. Olivia van Wyk.
Again, I kicked that away. Right at the end of the game, last play in your high school career, and you're gifting the ball to SACS. Hold on to the thing and play, surely. Oh, he's given SACS refs turn in SACS's favour at the death there. A couple of penalties in their favour.
So will SACS kick it out to Wall? They have a final run at it. Final minutes.
I think time might be up. Maybe they're going to kick this out and wait for the final whistle, maybe, yeah? Maybe not. Ref's enjoying himself. First game, I don't know. First game we've seen him in, so his first game he's probably refed some other first team games, but first time I've seen him here in the southern suburbs refing a schoolboy derby.
And he took a hit as well.
Yeah, he took a nasty hit in the back. I think as the season draws to close, I think we must thank the referees as well. I mean, a lot of these guys, these are unbelievable. These guys ref sometimes a schoolboy game at 8 o'clock in the morning somewhere. They'll come and do a first league game, and they'll go from here and do a first league club game. These referees, much as we moan about them and at them, but they work really, really hard to keep rugby in the Western Cape going. The Western Province Referee Society under Ben Tron and his assistants. Really yeoman work, and as I said, much as we dislike them a lot of the time, we certainly can't play the game without them. So thanks to this particular ref, what is his name again? Mr. Dylan Franca, and all the others. Mr. Jonathan Kaplan's done a number of games this year in the southern suburbs and around. Nathan Barry, and all the others who come out week after week to facilitate these fixtures.
The game is not over. Will we see a final try?
Our clock's run down a while ago, but the referee, as I said, seems to be enjoying himself. We're well into extra time here. Wynberg having another crack here.
Watch out for big Christian Colborne. He wants a final run in the number 12 jersey.
Surely they're going to chuck it to him.
Olivia van Wyk. And they fired away to Matthew de Villiers. He's been good since he's been on the field. Stolen by his player, Nombakuza. Vital there. Halu. Cameron Bowes. He's like a mad giraffe when he gets going, the number 8. And it's stolen by Zederberg, but it's a penalty.
Referee now giving Wynberg a few penalties to break down. He simply...
So still a chance for Wynberg.
Doyle have a tap.
Halu. And this time he finds Schubert. Deciding to offload the ball. Doyle digging like a demented mole. And he finds Olivia van Wyk. Jason Alexander. Colborne, he wants a hat-trick.
Oh, hey, Wynberg, maybe nice that they can get one here just to finish off the season.
Lots.
Not going to win the game, unfortunately, but it might be nice for them to end on a bit of a high after a disappointing season.
Fakir, pick and go by the number 6.
Oh, big clean out there by Pierce on the side, opening a nice hole for Fakir there.
Halu's in there. They really want to score here, Wynberg.
Berger's in on the steal.
Wynberg still have it. It's been a courageous performance from them.
Oh, these kids must be buggered now.
Van Wyk. Colborne has a hat-trick. Christian Colborne. 3 tries and 4 tries against SACS this season. The man with the heart of gold.
Captain Colborne with a hat-trick to finish off the season. Unbelievable. So, as I said, disappointing as the season might have been in this defeat. Nice for Colborne that he can come up trumps with a hat-trick and won the first game as well. So 4 against SACS. He can certainly got something to crow about only in the pubs in years to come.
Also interesting, Graham, he scored the last try in this game, and he also had the final say back on Memorial Day.
Yeah, some of that rugby gods are smiling on him.
We just see the highlights. Doyle,
but
never
chat
gave
going
up.
On here. What's the referee chatting to the
Van Wyk and Colborne?
Well into extra time that he got over for that one, but beautiful running line from him off Van Wyk. We've got an old boys game coming up after this. So Wynberg versus SACS old boys. They're limbering up there. Been waiting to have a crack at each other.
Why aren't you playing, Graham?
Well, I'm a Rondebosch old boy like
exactly.
you, Justin, but certainly not going anywhere near a rugby field. I can run slowly in a straight line. That's about it. Actually played touch with my guys on Monday, and I'm still suffering aches and pains from that.
So Van Wyk, can he make it 24-22?
Yeah, I think sad that for Wynberg to finish the season like this, but I think nice for SACS. They've had a good season. They really needed this after those 2 disappointing results. They needed this to finish the season.
Van Wyk.
Over. No, just short.
And that's the game. Well, Graham, considering that Wynberg have had a tough season, this game certainly lived up to its expectations.
Yeah, I said, we've got to give full credit to Wynberg. Yeah, I said that, as I said many times during commentary, they did their homework. They picked up the SACS runners in the first half with the Zederberg on the inside, Skierman on the inside, Berger, Barrett, the main ball carriers, shut them down and dominated the first half for the most part. SACS changing their tactics a bit second half, using the wind, coming a bit narrow, using the heavy boys, Hay, Barrett, England, Berger to carry first, some pick and goes as well. So, narrowing things up a bit. It worked in their favour, and they eventually got the tries they needed to win the game. So, full credit to both sides. It was a fantastic game of schoolboy rugby, fitting way to end a long, arduous season for these kids. And they're going to all have a well-earned break now and get into the gym and bulk up more for next. Come back and beat each other up again next year.
And SACS will be really relieved with that result, considering they've had a tough second term. They first went out to Paul Boys, and many thought that they would have a chance out there.
And they played very well against Paul Boys, a couple of things, and could have gone the other way. But that from there, or certainly then Strand, they beat them comfortably. But Bishops was their undoing. and then Rondebosch. But yeah, so nice that they got this one. They needed this one just to cap off a season. I think it gives them a 14 out of 20 for the season, plus 2 draws. Results-wise, I think probably the best results SACS have had since the Peter Kirsten's years in 1974. Unfortunately, as we said earlier, the southern suburbs factor letting them down a bit, but having beaten Paul, Jim, Boland, Landbou, Grey, Selborne, DHS and Andrews, all quality sides, they've certainly done themselves proud over the course of a long season.
And also, if you just look at the makeup of their team, a lot of the players will be around next year. Abrams, Mokwena, Mazulo, Declan O'Connor, Beline, Ethan Berger, Jean Menard, Josh Barrett, Kalipa.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Yeah, so it'll be pretty much, I think the first team next year will be pretty much, Nick Maurer coached under 16 side last year, 2015, 2016. Next year's first team will probably be pretty much that whole under 16 side up in the first team. There are not too many guys coming out of this year's under 16A. I don't think you're going to stake a claim for the first side. So it's basically going to be the under 16 team from 2016. You're going to be the first team for 2018. It's interesting. I think I said it previously in commentary how it works. Players coming back for a second year. You look at the Minars of the world, the work rate they had this year, the Barretts, the Burgers. Have they got the hunger, the enthusiasm they have in the first year? And it's often we found, and I think Rondebosch have found it over the last year or two as well, looking at their results, that guys who are in grade 11 are often hungrier, and that you sometimes get that second year syndrome where matric players aren't quite as hungry as they were in grade 11. So it'll be interesting to see if Nick Maurer manages these guys next year. Can he get the same work rate, enthusiasm out of these repeating forwards in particular? And then, as much as we know, games are one up front. He's got 6 of the starting pack back. Will they deliver with the same impetus and enthusiasm as they have this year? And that's going to be vitally important for him and for the team and for SACS next year.
And just looking at Wynberg as well, they haven't had the greatest season, but at the same time they have played some tough opposition, and they have got a famous result this season against Selborne at the Cape Schools Week. And also on top of that, they've got quite a lot of players who will be here next year, and they've shown what they can do. They push SACS all the way.
So maybe, maybe a better mix for them going forward. They've got, I think, 7 guys back. They're bringing some strong under 16s or guys who played seconds, thirds this year, hungry. You never know. They might be there next year. You never know how things unfold. Justin van Winkel, a very good coach. He'll get the best out of them, I'm sure. So Wynberg will be back. They've got great age group sides. They're working hard at their rugby. Craig Childs in now, I think, full-time director of rugby, recruiting players. They've got a great gym facility. And they're always hard and hungry. They're not going to go away in a hurry. So they'll be back next year, definitely flat out. So it's going to be interesting to see how things unfold over the next couple of years.
incredible scenes on Hawthornden. That's the end of the season for School Sports Live and the Western Cape Rugby. It's been a brilliant season with some hallmark games. And we'll catch you again next year. End results 24-20 to SACS over Wynberg. Thank you very much.
Their romance started with love notes, then texting. And even now that he's hundreds of kilometers away, they stay close, one video chat at a time. Protect your future memories by ensuring the one thing that makes your connection possible, your income. Follow the link to learn more about Liberty's income protection. Liberty, the advantage of knowing. Their romance started with love notes, then texting. And even now that he's hundreds of kilometers away, they stay close, one video chat at a time. Protect your future memories by ensuring the one thing that makes your connection possible, your income. Follow the link to learn more about Liberty's income protection. Liberty, the advantage of knowing.